Good morning. This is volume 5 of the Whitepaper Chronicles. Chris is popping in, rocking and rolling. So we got Chris Settle here on audio. Obviously, we got Jimmy going on. This, again, is the 5th episode of the Whitepaper Chronicles. Feel free to go onto our channel and find the other ones. If you only have time for one, I would highly recommend volume 3, where we talk about all the things that are on our nonlinear roadmap. All of these things have been pretty exciting for me because we've got a pretty strong plan for our go forward into the next coming weeks and months and this year. But just like running through the list of all the things that we know we're going to be able to do is real fun, Jimmy. It's real fun.
I'm excited. Like I'm at the point where I can't actually keep up in world, and just zooming around, looking at what people are building, and then thinking about probably where we're going to be in a year with multiple worlds and multiple DAOs and multiple worlds and multiple committees and multiple people sitting, having ideas, working towards the DAO. Like it's kind of insane, to be honest. I'm grateful for what was and is and will be the best damn universe ever, the best damn metaverse ever. I don't think that's gonna fit.
Nope. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
Yeah. No, I'm okay. So I'll do a personal one today. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be deslinged. I'm allowed to move my arm freely, which is quite nice. I haven't been able to do that in a while.
Awesome. Good morning, Roger. Good morning, TC. In the comments, feel free to put up a gratitude I'll put up on the wall. Chris, how about you this morning?
I'm grateful for birds as alarms, and I'm grateful for coffee. Yeah, the birds keep waking up just a bit earlier every day now, so it's like 5:20 now when they start going, and it's an easy sign to just get up.
There you go. Hey, Lisa's here too. That is awesome. Grateful for Uplifters consistency. I mean, I suppose we have that. We are nothing if not relentless. And I'll give you another one. USA Michael. We love him too. Awesome. And again, we're getting ready to do episode 5 of the Whitepaper Chronicles, where we as a team are kind of walking through the white paper just to kind of give some color to it, make sure people can fully grok it. Awesome. Thanks, Roger. Get yours up as well.
And yeah, if you guys can like and share it out. Monday. So yeah, I'm not sure if we'll get through it today, but we should be finished tomorrow at the very least.
That's awesome. Lisa's watching us on a 77-inch TV, and that is rad. It's super fun. All right, so
my head must be this big. You can't even see how big my head is.
Super giant. All right, I'll pull the thing up here. And I'll put it in the comments in case anyone wants to follow along. And where did we get to? I think we got down to the DAO, yeah?
I think it's that first section. I actually put it in the notes, but I can't see them on my end. And if I open it up, it's gonna hear me talking again. But yeah, I think it was the DAO. Let me just pull it up.
Yeah, because I think that's why we stopped. We finished the uplifting stuff last time, and we're on. There's definitely a lot to go through on here. That is for sure. That's awesome. Lisa just sent me a picture of you and me, Jimmy, on her giant TV. We look pretty good. Your head is
Okay,
definitely
good.
large. Real big.
Okay.
So, yeah, Chris, do you want to run through this, or do you want me to take this one and you can grab the next one?
Why don't you give it a read, and then I can jump in if we need to talk about it.
Heard. All right, so DAO Tokenomics and Snapshots. The DAO token will exist on Ethereum. There's going to be 100 million DAO tokens in total, maximum supply, all minted on day one. The first use cases for DAO tokens right from the start are having a direct influence on the development of new features, the roadmap, and all important decisions concerning the Uplift World metaverse through your vote. The holding of 100 plus DAO tokens will give you permanent alpha and beta access that is otherwise exclusive for landowners. This feature will get active shortly before the start of the first ETH land sales. DAO token holders will also receive a share of gross revenue as long as the DAO has a sufficient operations runway. The runway size and revenue share amounts will be voted on by the DAO. So here's the DAO token distribution. Again, you can take a look at this stuff by clicking the link that I added into the comments, or just going to the Uplift .world and finding the white paper tab. It's got all that stuff broken down. I think the biggest thing to for people to know is 25% is going out to landholders and DAO token burners over two major tranches. The first snapshot of which we did yesterday, and the next one will be in a few months. We don't have a firm date set on that yet. So 25% of the DAO tokens has been earmarked for the community in two phases. I probably just should have kept reading. Phase one is 15% of the DAO token and will be based on a snapshot taken shortly before the distribution itself. Yesterday, this will be split into two pools, 80-20. The first pool, 12% of total DAO token, will be distributed based on the number of land key and rail key NFTs that you have. Size of the plot does not matter for this, only how many keys you have. The second pool, 3% of total DAO token, will be distributed based on Upliftium burned. So we will consider burns from picture installs, portal installs, screenshot sessions. If we get other big syncs online before distribution snapshot, those will count as burns. Of course, we didn't. We will also consider any 1 million Upliftium NFTs sent to We Save Uplift as burned by the wallet that sends them, and we'll burn the NFTs received in batches. Shop taxes will not count as burns, at least for the first distribution. Now, I should also note that, since we wrote this, we actually sorted out how to track, if people just straight up burned the NFTs. So we included that as well. So when we formalize a date for the second distribution, 10% of total DAO tokens, it will be split similarly, 8% based on land, NFT ownership, 2% for Upliftium burns. By the end of this, all but 4% of the DAO tokens will have been distributed. You will have to register an Ethereum address on enter.theuplift.world and confirm it in game to reserve your DAO tokens before the window, date not announced, ends. Actually, we need to fix this because the connecting that, I think we decided that date is actually going to be June 1. So you need to have your Ethereum wallet connected, and you can do this on our website now on enter.theuplift before June 1. And that's going to reserve your DAO tokens. You don't have to, spend the gas to collect them at that point. This is going to secure them so that we know that they're yours, and you are going to be claiming them, and you'll have more time to do it after that. If you don't do that by June 1st, then those DAO tokens are actually going to get reallocated to the second tranche. So you also have an option to burn 10 million Upliftium to get on an airdrop list and have the DAO token sent directly to your wallet with us paying the gas. You can see current information on Upliftium burns, holdings, and land key ownership, useful for calculating your share of the DAO tokens, which we actually ended up putting in, even before the snapshot, the amount of DAO tokens that you were going to get as an estimate. We're there on the site because Flow is a freaking genius. And you can see some of the stuff on this third-party tool from Modded Outlaw, links on there as well.
TLDR. I don't have that much to add on this one. Was basically just going to say we're still working out the details of the claim and the drop mechanics. Currently, there's also no token contract address. So, like we said in the announcement, don't fall for any scams. If people are saying, hey, you can claim now, or you can pay ETH to get airdropped or anything like that right now, we'll announce that really clearly when it is happening. I'd also say that we're trying to get an idea of what it's going to cost per transaction. And if you wait for good gas, it could easily be under $10, possibly even under $7 per transaction. So, don't worry too much about that. You will need some Ethereum on the chain if you want to claim it that way with gas. And we've tentatively dropped the burn from 10 million Upliftium to 5 million Upliftium, given the Upliftium prices and the differences in costs. Obviously, that Upliftium's burned and wouldn't go towards the DAO's Ethereum in any way. So the DAO is still taking on the cost of the drop. So that's why the burn rate isn't exactly what the gas cost could be on ETH. But that's about it.
Cool beans.
Also, I just dropped it in the comments. If you're new to Ethereum and you're kind of curious about, how to get going, we put out a quick start guide for MetaMask, how to register for an account, how to get it. All the links there are official links from their sites. I kind of simplified it, but you can go, to those sites and watch their videos and get a wallet, register for it, and plug it right there into enter the Uplift World. It's not like Wax where, when you log in right away, it'll show up. You're going to have to click on the kind of see MetaMask every single time that you go in, but you only have to really link it once, and then your snapshot tokens will be reserved for you. So don't freak out if it's not linked the second time that you go in there. You might have to do it again, but it will be linked from the first time that you do it and counted towards those DAO tokens.
Cool beans. So why on ETH? Chain agnostic decisions for the best outcome. So the Uplift uses the Wax blockchain as its backbone since it offers high performance, ease of use for non-crypto users, has no fees, and is carbon neutral, to only name a few Wax benefits. Although we are really deeply rooted within the Wax community, we do firmly believe in a chain agnostic approach, which means to use the blockchain that is best to fit a given purpose. The final standard user experience we are aiming for in the long run is supposed to allow users to, not even notice they're using the blockchain. Why do we choose Ethereum as the best chain for the job to host the Uplift DAO token then? And what is about outrageous fees or clunky transactions? We should probably clean this up edit-wise. Anyway, so having the DAO on snapshot.org gets us recognition and voting without outrageous ETH gas fees, especially if it's run well. And this is great advertising in exchange for governing better instead of paying out cash. The tools provided by snapshot.org are excellent and have already been tested. There's tons of sort of really high profile projects that are using this already. It's one of the reasons why we wanted to sort of be in that ecosystem. Having the token and main liquidity pool on Ethereum allows for not just speculators to drive up the price, but also whales to provide liquidity and volume, which again is free advertising for even advertising that pays the community, or even advertising that pays the community. There's obviously interest in Minecraft metaverses on Ethereum with projects like NFT Worlds. This means more necessary capital and visibility to run and grow the Uplift World into one of the top metaverses. Popping onto the scene through a DAO token that you can get by buying land and getting Upliftium to burn on Wax will likely coax the more enterprising of them to try out this chain, which is a win for everyone. It's basically just like, to reiterate, there's a lot of interest in NFT Worlds, and I think there's like another little copycat thing that is going on Ethereum. And obviously, you guys might have heard of the Bored Ape land thing happened over the last couple of days, and is creating a whole lot of noise.
Right. My first thought was, over here.
Right. I mean that's the thing. Like we are in a lot of ways working in ways that these projects just simply aren't, right? And that's not to say that they won't at some point, but we've actually got some pretty interesting advantages because we've been doing this for a hot minute, and our play to earn is rocking and rolling already, and right. We've already faced some of the challenges that these products are certainly going to be facing. And again, I'm sure they do well, but I think like at least for this time, it's sort of an interesting spot, right? So we're going to be doing a lot of work to be connecting with a bunch of Ethereum projects, before we do any land sales over there or what have you. But I think there really is going to be a situation where people start looking at the connected worlds that they get through Ethereum, and then start looking at Wax, because there could be some real opportunities for price arbitrage, and I think that's going to end up being really, really good for everybody that holds land on the Wax blockchain as well. So having connections to Ethereum would also allow us to tap into open source tools provided by projects over there. I don't know if you guys have heard, there's like a lot of stuff going on over there. And just for like a little bit of context, and the reason why we're focused on getting the DAO token on Ethereum up front, but also why we're sort of targeting Ethereum as the first of a few different blockchains that we want to have connected to the Uplift over the course of this year, is because like just the amount of volume going on Ethereum is many times more than the amount of volume that's in all of the other blockchains combined. It's mental. And commensurate to that, to this last little comment's point, like the open source tools that are available over there are, there's tons, and we're gonna be able to explore that and probably get a whole bunch of functionality from that. That's gonna be really exciting. So, you guys want to add anything to that?
I mean, I've been talking with Sean about this a lot, like almost every single week that we do this episode. And the ability to go across blockchains is pretty epic. I mean, we've got all of these servers with all of these people that are building, both survival and creative. And now we're going to be able to showcase this to people who are on Ethereum that I haven't seen any builds from any of these other projects that are operating on Minecraft. So that's, point one, that's pretty amazing. Point two is when we do launch worlds, people will be able to jump through portals into our worlds. Like, we have, not financial advice, but we have the potential to reevaluate all of the land that has been built on that is based on wax when the floodgates open. In my personal, humble opinion, that is not connected to anything coming from the team. But I mean, you guys who are the OG DAO members or DAO OGs, some of you got dropped that badge. I think you're going to be really happy in the next year or so. Right?
Yeah, lots of work to do, but it definitely, is an amazing opportunity. Chris, do you want to add anything to this? You're muted.
You guys nailed it. So
cool. All right, game on.
You want me to do one?
Yeah, you want to do proposals and voting?
Sure.
Cool.
If I can find it.
I love this. I don't know why I'm a huge fan of this poster, but I really am.
The
vote one with this dude. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go. Sorry, I'm on the wrong page here. Proposals voting. How will the decisions be formed which shape the future of the Uplift? Proposals and voting will be on snapshot.org. Quorum will initially be 15% of all DAO tokens backing a proposal to graduate to full vote. Proposals that meet this threshold will be brought to full vote within a week as long as the relevant committees don't require changes. A vote requires a simple majority to pass. Most activities or actual work in the DAO will be undertaken by those with specific roles or by committees. Most roles will have a reserved seat or will chair a relevant committee. So if you've never sat on a DAO or a DAC, it's quite interesting. And we've had like some test cases on this, and I personally think that they went really well. I mean, we learned a lot. The end event that happened a couple months ago, that was kind of the first test case for one of these committees. I think it was headed up by Awesome Jen, and she put a team together that talked about rules, regulations, and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm quite excited to see how this goes. I think like we're going to touch on these a little bit later, the committees, but yeah, there's definitely core roles within each committee. So we can go through those as well. Eye of the Creative Storm. The core staff to bring continuity into the development of a united AAA project. The DAO will consist minimally of the following roles, not exhaustive. Number one, DAO token holders. They can make proposals, including all new project proposals, and they can vote. So if you're holding DAO tokens, you'll be able to, I think there might maybe a threshold on that, like just one DAO token. Like might not cut it, but I think, like, you know, if you're holding DAO tokens, assume that you can vote and you can make proposals, right?
One DAO
And
token does cut it. Yeah, it's a small vote, but you can absolutely vote with just one DAO token and even make a proposal. It's just it won't get through unless you've got more support.
right, yeah, no, I didn't mean for the voting. I meant for the proposals. What do we have a number on that total? I know we tossed around a few, but I'm not sure if we solidified that yet.
A number on what? To make proposals?
Yeah.
Yeah, again, just one DAO token is enough to make a proposal. It's just a proposal has to get 15% votes before it graduates to an actual vote. So, like, I can make a proposal with one DAO token, but if I don't have people representing 15% of the pool supporting that, it'll never make it to a vote.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure what the number was, so my math's not great. 15% is like the tax that I pay. That's way too much. Anyway, full-time roles. Full-time staff or key and or legally required roles includes management roles that can take over committee work if there are functionality issues. Treasurer, bookkeeping team, other corporate mandated roles, overall project management, overall product management, lead back-end developer, lead plugin developer. Some of these. Is there anything you want to add on that, Chris?
I could just give a real quick breakdown that, like, these roles, the full-time, part-time roles, and freelancer roles are all things that we envision people getting paid for, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the pay might not initially start at very much, but the idea here is to have people in these roles confirmed through votes on the DAO, and they're getting paid for the time that they're putting in. A lot of committee members or people who are just making votes, you might not be getting paid directly at that point, but you're still putting a lot of time in. And that's why we have things like freelancers and also bounties and ways to potentially pay people after the fact for really big contributions. But, like, these first sets of roles are things that sort of require daily input from people and therefore should have a certain amount of regular compensation attached to it.
Part-time roles. Part-time multi-role people with bursaries based on objectives or KPIs. Twitter or tweeter, Instagram poster, Facebook manager, event announcement poster or creator, auto farm hammer, marketing strategist, events coordinator, project outreach coordinator, Discord wizard, Mojang outreach, and video editing wizard. So, I mean, like, there'll be multiple committees that people will, you know, be sitting on, and some of these roles will apply to many of them, right? Freelancers working for bounties or on in-residence retainers, research and development in residence position, blogger in residence, build team in residence, live stream team, Upliftium services, execution team. And finally, the DAO committee members. Any one person may be in multiple roles. All roles will be voted on, although some key roles will be filled prior to DAO formation. I think we've kind of got a few people who have started working on various outlines for committees already, which they've been putting together documents and, you know, their proposals of what they're thinking might happen or how the committee will be structured. Not all committees, I think Chris brought this up a couple of days ago, but not all committees necessarily need to be structured in the same way. When the committee is formed, then those committee members or the person who's heading that committee, they can kind of choose to structure the committee in their own way. And for the most part, they probably shouldn't all be structured the same way, depending upon what they're based on. But that will be up to, I guess, the committee leader and potentially with feedback from the other people who are in the committees as well.
All right,
Hi,
so
Dennis.
What's that?
I just said, hi, Dennis.
Yes, Dennis is here. It is good. All right, so DAO committees. Committees would be proposed and voted on by the DAO and would be given special empowerment to perform their mandated tasks. This could include server access, the ability to represent the DAO in discussions, power to make new rules and such. Communities would present budgets for the DAO to vote on. The DAO would also vote in committee members and an initial chairperson. The actual structure of intra-committee governance will be decided by the chairperson, ideally after consulting the other committee members. One seat, one vote policy is assumed to be the default on committees. It is possible to have a committee with one person on it. The following committees are proposed for the DAO on day one. Events and party planning. Plan in-world events sponsored by the DAO, end events, scavenger or sign punch events, player versus player, and such. Organize the business and product detail for partner events, things like boat races, scavenger hunts, or gallery launches. Manage and maintain a calendar of events and work with marketing to bring the people to the party. I've been talking to somebody who hooked me up with a conversation with a Canadian exchange that might want to help us with fiat onboarding and offloading, which is kind of cool. And I found out from that guy who I just met like a couple weeks ago. We started hanging out or talking on Discord that he's actually on the events committee already, and is like super excited about it and stoked. So I was just like, "What? That's amazing!" I was pretty excited about that.
And does some pretty cool stuff too. Actually, I won't.
I think it's gonna work. So the operations committee: servers, tools, databases, monitoring, plugin install and config, minting NFTs, airdrops, feature improvement, front end improvements, enabling the Upliftium service execution team, empowering committees with mod roles or accesses, support and troubleshooting, primarily run by full-time staff.
Yeah, so the operations committee is one of few committees that may not have a fully transparent Discord channel, right? It may only be open to members of the operations committee just because there's going to be a lot of sensitive data and logs going through. Most of the other committees will have transparent Discord channels where everybody can at least watch, and depending on the committee's vote, a lot of people could even participate in the chat. It's just only committee members will be able to vote through polls in those channels.
That's cool. All right.
I can do this one if you want.
Sure.
Marketing committee keeps the uplift in the front of potential new members' minds. Contests, posters, tweets, podcasts. Develops guides, tutorials, and other sources of accessible information. Utilizes advertising spend where it makes sense. Works with content creators to maintain momentum. Outreach in some form to market the existing product and to give additional feedback or request features for defined marketing purposes. There needs to be a close exchange with product. Creative committee. Responsibilities include developing game lore, maintaining a game glossary, producing images and art, writing for various projects as needed, and either produce video in-house or schlop it up from the community. Schlop is a verb that means to scoop up in the same way one scoops files out of a pool, but with enormous positivity. Casting
it's sloop.
Okay, yep. Well, I don't know, man. I can't even say it. I can't even speak most words over here without it, accented vowel accent. So, yeah. Casting of a wide net to acquire many things that can be narrowed down to acquiring things of immense value. The creative committee would mostly receive direction from marketing and product. One really good example of, what might be some really cool things that could be put out there in the space is the Storyteller's Dream from London Lee London. If you haven't watched that, go watch it, because like that happened, I don't know, Corey, maybe 6 months ago is my guess, but it was quite the thing when we first saw it on the channel the first time. It was amazingly done.
It's amazing. It's really good.
And it's always good to see Corey with no pants on.
Yep. That's what that video is famous for. And that is the wrong reason. All right. Product committee, responsible for creating a product that looks and feels awesome in every aspect and can match decent non-crypto productions in these aspects. It works across the whole project, unifying aesthetic features, graphics, and language. It also manages how the branding, design, style, and user interface, which is supposed to work and feel like a well-planned, homogeneous top product when it comes to all core parts. This means the committee will also decide on what internal standards or style guides are supposed to look like. Committee chaired by and reports to overarching product manager. So the rules and bans committee, make new in-game rules, work with devs and operations committees for game-based enforcement where possible, look for violations, ban or shadow ban players, listen to unban appeals, develop documents with new or updated information for marketing to make pretty and publish. Members can access moderation tools. That's actually I've been watching that go like relatively well.
The rewards committee adjusts rewards between seasons, works with operations to make larger changes to tracking as desired, adjust overall Upliftium emissions, propose additions to the current rewards distribution method, or even entirely new emission structures. work with product and marketing committees to develop new miners and adjust miner pool rates. Members can access moderation tools. Members have to waive the ability to earn active rewards, but will be compensated with a flat rate. There were actually a couple questions in the AMA channel which were answered, but just to go over those, right? This will be another one, like, because the rewards are changing every season, the people who are sitting on that rewards committee, they'll be treated a little bit differently, and they'll have, that committee will be treated a little bit differently as well. It will need to be, closed, because the last thing that we want is people gaming the system, right? So is there anything else that you might want to add to that too, Chris, that I missed, but maybe?
No, I think you did a really solid job.
Okay, and next one is...
So, New Worlds Committee decides on details of New Worlds voted in by the DAO, comes up with New World ideas to bring to the DAO for voting, request development of features required before launching a new specialty world. All proposals completed by this committee go to a full DAO vote. We're going to be voting on, the decision to go to Ethereum first. I'm pretty sure that's slated to actually happen.
Yeah.
We know it's not gonna. We know it's gonna pass. It's not hard to do. But we're gonna be doing that. And then we're gonna be making proposals. We had B-Dub from Terra telling us to get over there as quickly as humanly possible. Right. We were chatting with Frame Games and Tiny Miss Brittany about how much fun they're having over on Solana, and that if they can keep the thing turned on. Sorry, I can't help myself. But there's a lot of opportunities to go to different places, right? And I think having the ability for those proposals to be made and vote on which ones we do or focus on after that, I think is going to be it's going to be really cool. I think I'm getting more excited about that kind of thing all the time.
Well, and I think another big thing about the New Worlds Committee is prior to that, it's been the team sort of deciding which worlds get implemented as far as what seeds and stuff as well, right? The New Worlds Committee will be able to take options of generated worlds and stuff, decide which ones should be branded, decide if they want to do things at spawn, decide if there are special features. They can put a lot more care into almost handcrafting these initial worlds and then bring those to a DAO vote as well if they'd like. And yeah, not just other chains, but also things like, say, the Redstone Games World idea or a hardcore survival cluster. Like, the New Worlds Committee would be the first committee to say, hey, look, we want to do this. Here's the basic structure of how we want to do it. Here's the map we would like to run. Which committees are going to have to help us out to make this a reality? And then we can get things voted on there too. So yeah, it could be a really fun one.
Yeah, I think it will. So New Projects Committee oversees the allocation of resources, including in-house, in-DAO, and external talent to accomplish the projects voted for development within the approved budgets, can push projects back for revoting if technical assessment is that more resources are required. So would I be correct, Chris, in assuming that this New Projects Committee would probably be kind of a steering committee for voting on the nonlinear roadmap stuff?
Yeah, it's sort of I think it'll be chaired by the overall project manager, and it's sort of a group of people that can better understand all of the resources that the DAO is using and can basically stop projects if things are being developed too in parallel and there's risks. Like, they'd talk to budget and be like, hey, there's risks there. Or if they find that development resources are taking up too much, they can stop that. If they see proposals for new projects that go through and get voted on and get approved, but the project's unrealistic or against the terms of service or in other ways is just going to be a huge problem for the DAO, they have not a veto ability, but the ability to push a project back for new voting with new things assigned with it. And they would be the ones that would lead veto votes if they say, hey, look, doing this project will ruin the whole DAO, and try to get, more consensus if there are big issues there.
Right. Awesome sauce. All right. Budget Committee. The Budget Committee receives and reviews all budgets and either requests clarity of the committee submitting the budget or presents the budget to the DAO for approval. The Budget Committee would be chaired by the treasurer and would liaise closely with the Operations Committee.
Yeah, the Budget Committee is also probably going to be involved with it, and the treasurer in handling payments for people as well, and in some of the negotiation side as we need to figure out how to set various rates or bounties. So it's a really critical position. I know it sounds a little bit boring sometimes, but yeah, it could be rough to run a DAO without a committed budget committee.
Yeah, it's make or break. I've been thinking about that stuff a lot, and I know you guys have, and I know Jen's been talking about that too. So I'll be looking at that stuff closely. And the biggest priority for me is, especially considering we've just gone through this moment where, and frankly, we're not out of it. Where are we actually going to survive? We have a lot of work to do to make sure that we can survive as a DAO and as a platform. It's not a foregone conclusion. It's not just going to happen. And so, making sure that we, build a short-term plan that's actually going to work, but then a long-term plan that is going to marshal those resources really fucking carefully, is something that I spend lots of nights not sleeping thinking about. And there's tons of opportunity around like that. We can do it. So it's just gonna be cool to kind of get it organized and figure it out. So funding the DAO, we did this already. So just to let people know, we did the land auction, recently. And might actually do a couple more small ones, small window auctions kind of as we roll out, because we've got a lot of supply left. There's some stuff that people might actually want to pick up, land next to them, that kind of thing. And then DAO supporters, we started an account called We Save Uplift on Wax. Had a lot of kind of art and video NFTs go out from some of the most amazing builds in the space. And DAO supporter NFTs that went out, and that I think is going to be it's been really helpful. And I think it's something that we could actually probably do even moving forward if we have any ideas around it. So that could be sort of interesting. All right, revenue allocation. We're gonna do it. So for compensation for roles will be negotiated on a role-by-role basis as appropriate. For short-term projects, a budget or a bounty may be approved. Committee seats chairs will be compensated where appropriate by approved bursaries for baseline work or out of the budget for the appropriate project for special projects. A single DAO member can receive compensation for multiple sources. And then on the saving the key dates, redacted. I don't know why that's in there. We should probably fix that. But yeah, I think that the next key date, we've already gotten the snapshot, was yesterday. The next key date, I mean, fingers crossed today or tomorrow, but I'll announce that when I can. But the next key date everyone needs to know is that you need to have your Ethereum wallet connected in enter.theuplift.world by June 1st to reserve your tokens. You don't have to claim them yet, but you just need to have your MetaMask attached to and linked in enter.theuplift. And I did that yesterday. It's really easy to do. And that basically just secures your DAO tokens. And if you don't have that done by June 1st, then your DAO tokens are actually going to get pushed into tranche 2, and they'll be distributed with that pool. All right. Yeah, and then we have the official AMA's channel, social channels. I mean, all this is just kind of details that everybody knows. I don't think we need to run through any of that stuff with getting started. Chris, do you have anything else that you want to add from all this?
Not really, to be honest. Like, I think this has been a really great few videos going through this whole thing. And yeah, just like with the other one, if there are key sections people want to cut out of this and start sharing in a shorter form way, like I think the white paper and now these videos are a great go-to for anybody that's new. So
agreed. Yeah, it's been epic, and thanks to everyone who's joined us live for it. It's been really cool to kind of walk through all this stuff. Dennis, did you want to add anything even just about like the whole white paper, the whole thing? Any thoughts on your mind this morning?
Not really. I think it will develop over time because it's also a living document, and so you will have always the newest references to check up. And when it comes to the dates we saw, we can probably link our new events calendar, so it will be up to date from now on.
Yeah, I think we all learned that there are some things we need to fix going through here again. Like, that's the great part of going through in detail, and especially after some time's passed. This is your guys' white paper too, so please do submit any changes. If you see typos, just let us know. Add us in Discord with where there's a typo, and we'll get it adjusted. If you want to take a stab at rewriting some of these sections, please do. Like, it incites really good discussion, and we might wind up changing the whole paper based on it. So, yeah.
Yep.
Well, another one too is at the last section there where it talked about the AMAs. There's a hashtag AMA channel in the Discord, so feel free to keep dropping any questions that you have in there as well, because I think that's another one that we're going to kind of try to do on a semi-regular basis. And I think it'll be interesting too, because when we get to some of these committees that are, you know, put into effect, there might be the chance that maybe some of those committees could even come on here and host their own AMAs depending upon what's happening, right? So we want to kind of, you know, incorporate everyone and enable everyone to have a voice, whether it's in Discord or potentially later on this channel as well. So, yeah.
Yeehaw. All right, well, nailed it. We done. Yeah, go watch the other ones if you haven't watched yet. They're super fun. And I'm going to get back to work trying to get the thing done so that we can have another fun announcement in the next day or two. And then, you know, we'll drop some DAO token and just start planning to take over the world. All right. Yeah, it's Lisa in the channel, because I think we've actually had this comment in a few different places. Play and earn might replace play to earn, according to some. Yeah, which, I mean, that's been a core value of ours since the beginning, right? I mean, we've been actively, you know, sort of making it so that the way to optimize is to play, not to, you know, kind of optimize and just like grind out being dumb. So you're not actually playing, you're, you know, just trying to earn token. Anyway, so it's cool.
Yeah, and for people who might not have been paying attention, I guess we're in the off season for rewards this week. So just a little update there as well. But I mean, I'm still in there building. Gratitude rail's coming along nicely. Been building little huts to keep me out of the rain, because it rains a hell of a lot in Gratitude. I don't know who set that up, but it's kind of interesting. I never see rain anywhere more than there, but it's super fun. We need to have a rain party. Uplifters events, if there's anything that's you guys have, make sure that you submit the forms. Let's get them out there. I know Dennis is doing it on the official site. We're putting blogs together and submit them to other places around and about, because, you know, the more people we have in the metaverse hanging out, wandering around, the more people we have sharing their information, the better it is for us all, because you know, we want to not be able to keep up with events. We want to have a full-time committee that has to come in here and do this every single day to get the PvP events and the cool, you know, museum events up and off the ground. I mean, that's what the metaverse is for. And I think, you know, we do a pretty good job of having people in here every day. But in my opinion, the metaverse is here for people to use, not for it to open up once a month so that you can have an event and then close down, right? Like, we want it up and running every day. So get those builds, get those events, get all of those things that you guys are doing out there so that we can get more people to come and get involved.
Yeah. All right, guys. That's it. Chris, you have anything else you want to add before we close it out?
No, just thanks for being here.
Cool beans. Cheers, guys.